The World Cup officially kicked off on Thursday. The crew here at Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk, we all got together along with a few friends at the England and Italy match that was playing at the Blackbird Bar. That's officially England house. But hey, if you're a fan of any country, the Donnelly Group has a spot for you. Plus, if you're a fan of Russia, you're going to want to go to the Tavern at the New Oxford. That's Russia House. The Butcher and the Bullock is Casa de Brazil. It was just jam-packed on Thursday for that one. The Donnelly Group showing all 64 World Cup matches live. Visit donnellygroup.ca to find all the Vancouver venues. And let me highly recommend them. It was a great, fun day today. We thank the folks at the Blackbird Bar for all their hospitality. It was a great time, and we're definitely going to be back. I think I'm going back next England game. So if you'd like to join me, come on down. We're going to talk some more World Cup coverage with Bobby McMahon in just a second, but there's one final MLS match to talk about. That happened earlier in the week, and Simon, you have all the details on that one.
Yes, the Montreal Impact go into the this World Cup right now on a very good note. They fell 4-2 at home to DC United. All 6 goals in the game at Statsbury were scored in the first half, and then included a hat-trick for the former TFC man Luis Silva, as well as 3 assists for Fabian Espindola.
Thanks, Simon. Now joining us is a Sportsnet analyst, Forbes and Soccerly writer, Bobby McMahon. Bobby, thanks for joining us here on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk.
My pleasure, guys.
Now, obviously, a few matches in the books here at the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Bobby, what's the biggest surprise for you so far? Is it the Spain defeat to the Netherlands? Is it maybe Costa Rica and what they did, or who's really surprised you at this tournament so far?
Maybe I'd take a step back and maybe not look at necessarily who's played well, who's played badly, but we've been through 8 games now. We haven't had a draw.
Yeah, very true.
And we've got lots of goals. Like this is a pretty good start. I think we tend to find, we know that generally as the tournament goes on, it'll get a little bit tighter. But if you've got goals like this coming in the first round of games, and we've got half of them underway now, I think that's a really positive sign that the goals are going to keep on coming. I think the number of teams we've seen with younger legs succeeding as well has been a really positive sign. Costa Rica, great result today. I thought, going into the tournament, I thought there was a chance they might take a point from Uruguay. I didn't think for 1 minute that they would beat Uruguay. So that has really put the cat amongst the pigeons. And, on one hand, you can look at the Netherlands result. I don't think anybody would have been particularly surprised, really, if Netherlands had beaten Spain, even though Spain were very much favourites. But to be absolutely dismantled 5-1 and in a game that could have quite easily been perhaps 8-3 or 9-2, was really something that took people completely by surprise. It was a devastating performance. Now,
you just mentioned the Spain defeat there. Brings us to Casillas. Does he even get another chance to start for Spain, or is it kind of somebody else now? Is it somebody like Reina or De Gea's turn?
It's an interesting question for Del Bosque. Del Bosque's throughout his career has been a very loyal coach to his players, and perhaps when the obituary is written for Spain, if there is to be an obituary after this 2014 World Cup, that's something that might get a lot of play. That perhaps Del Bosque has been over loyal to the players that have served Spain so well over the last 6 years. It's a problem for a coach because, in many cases, you don't. The worst time to drop somebody is when they play a bad game, because not only have you got the issue with them with the confidence of not playing well in that game, but now they're not. How are they going to get that confidence back? But Casillas wasn't great, but come on, Ramos and Piqué were pretty bad as well. So I know that Casillas has taken it in the neck a little bit, particularly for goals 3 and 4. But I thought the partnership of Ramos and Piqué was particularly disappointing. And you could go on. There was a number of Spanish players that just didn't do the job, didn't even get any close to the job. So I think if there's criticism, would be to be had. It could be spread out throughout that Spanish team. There was very few players that covered themselves in glory against the Dutch.
You're listening to Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk here on AM 650 Radio, talking to Bobby McMahon, Tyler Green, Simon Fudge with you.
Bobby, we saw an incredibly impressive performance, maybe the most famous one in international football for Costa Rica today. A starting 11 from Costa Rica that included a number of players that are foreign-based. It speaks a lot for a very small country like Costa Rica in the way they're producing players of late, and it could be said the same of Honduras. You want to just touch on particularly being CONCACAF countries, the things that those countries have been doing in recent years that have gotten them to this level, where a country like Canada is still struggling.
Well, it's a dilemma for Canada, isn't it? Because even if Canada were able to turn their programs round instantaneously, the reality is that for the last 20 years we've lost significant ground to the likes of the Hondurases and Costa Ricas, who in many ways were you could argue were possibly even behind us 25, 30 years ago. So it's very, very difficult now that these countries of producing players that are making a living overseas in some pretty good leagues. And you've also got to remember that with World Cup appearances come significant injection of money into the system. So you've got Costa Rica and Honduras in this situation, along with the United States and Mexico, of course. But they're going to be the great gainers in terms of World Cup prize money or World Cup appearance money. So that all goes into the system as well. So once again, it's Canada in a position of not even playing catch up, because it's catch-up plus, because they're not getting that same revenue stream that the Central American countries are seeing after World Cup appearances.
Right now, score the best deal on Kia's 2014 FIFA World Cup sales event, plus get 0% financing for 84 months and up to $4,000 in cash bonuses on select models. You're listening to Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. Tyler Green, Simon Fudge, joined by Bobby McMahon. And Bobby, England... unfortunate result for them earlier today. Do they have a chance of making it to the round of 16, especially with Costa Rica winning, or is Costa Rica winning a good thing for England?
Well, nothing I say, nothing you guys say will stop English fans beating themselves up over this. But one, I thought it was a brilliant game to watch. I thought there was so many good things. It was a very structured game. You could see what Italy were trying to do. You could see what England were trying to do. So it made it made it a fascinating game to watch. And you've got a situation now where England perhaps aren't that far off where they were looking before. Really, 2 wins should get them into the next round. The problem they've got, of course, is you look down the road a little bit and you wonder if second place and perhaps playing somebody like Colombia is going to be an issue for England. Nonetheless, there was many positives. I thought the one thing that really unsettled the Italians, once the Italians were able to drop back in the last 15-20 minutes and defend deep, they looked very, very comfortable, and I don't think England had the wherewithal to break them down. But prior to that, and probably if there's one criticism, it was England weren't able to execute as well as they could have. But when they got the ball and when they were direct, and one of these examples, the example is the goal. Very quick, heads up, get the ball out to Rooney. Rooney crossing the Sturridge, puts it in. Like it was when they were able to do that, I thought they really they made the Italian defence look very nervy and quite laboured as well. But they just couldn't do it enough. The Italians, Pirlo, absolutely brilliant. One of the great performances, I think, of any World Cup. Everybody's talking about the heat, everybody's talking about the humidity, and there's 35-year-old Pirlo just gliding through this game, just passing at will. I don't know if he put a pass. I think he put about 3 or 4 passes astray all night, and all of them were adventurous passes. He was outstanding, and England never had anybody quite like him that could link the play and control the tempo quite like him. There was a number of, I think, tactical areas that Italy were able to get some benefit from, in particular that left side of the defence. Baines was pretty much exposed. Both goals came from that area as well, so I think there'll be some some question marks about how Hodgson set that up and perhaps where Wayne Rooney was in terms of giving cover.
We've had 3 very exciting days, Bobby, so far. What do you look forward to with the games tomorrow?
What we've got? We've got Argentina tomorrow, don't we?
That's right.
Yes, Bosnia, good game. Very interesting to see how Bosnia do. I'm picking them to perhaps be a team that might manage to get to the last 8. Argentina, obviously, with Messi, Aguero. Whether Higuain plays or not, we'll find out. But generally, I think Argentina is a team and a country that a lot of people are looking forward to. I think we've got Switzerland and Ecuador early on. Switzerland's a young team, a youngish team anyway, that's a lot of players that have been successfully age group. Whether they can manage the conditions in South America is a question mark. And of course, you've got Ecuador. Climatically, the kind of conditions suit them, but Ecuador have never played particularly well away from home. And even in South America, they really benefit from altitude, but they've not got that play in Brazil. So that looks like an even match. And of course, France. How will France actually turn up? And will you take the sum of the pieces, and will they be greater rather than less? Because they've just been so much of a soap opera for so many tournaments. You're never quite sure there. And Honduras. Can't see Honduras getting out of the group, but I don't think anybody's going to blow Honduras away either.
We're talking World Cup with Bobby McMahon, Sportsnet soccer analyst, Forbes writer, Soccer League writer. Our World Cup coverage here on AM 650 Radio and Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk, brought to you by the Donnelly Group. The Donnelly Group is showing all 64 World Cup matches live. Visit donnellygroup.ca to find all the Vancouver venues closest to you.
Bobby, one of the things that I had a strong feeling with this World Cup would be South America's World Cup, and having seen the Sea of Red with Chile and Cuba yesterday, the Sea of Red today in Belo Horizonte, or Sea of Yellow today with Colombia and Belo Horizonte, it was almost like they were playing home games. And do you think that could prove to be quite a telling thing, particularly with the fact that both Chile and Colombia went and got results on the back of that?
I think it's very difficult to see past the South American winner. Having said that, we haven't seen the likes of the Germans yet. There's a big question mark for the Germans in this tournament. It's been a long time since Germany's won a major international tournament. You've got to go back to 96, go back to 1990 for the last World Cup, and you get a sense that this German team, it's about time they actually delivered a gold medal performance instead of a bronze medal or a fourth place performance. So there's some questions there, but Brazil weren't particularly impressive. But here's the thing, of course, guys. You look back through World Cups, how many, in reality, with the exception of Brazil probably in 1970, how many teams have been impressive from start to finish in a World Cup? And the Brazil in 70 is the only one I can come up with. The teams that managed to go on and win the World Cup are the ones that kind of capture that lightning in a bottle and build some momentum. They get through the groups, and then they put together 3-4 really, really good performances. But let's face it, would you be surprised? I wouldn't be surprised if it's Brazil and Argentina in the final on July 13th.
Bobby, of the teams that you look at, and having seen what you've to this point, what do you anticipate now in terms of being your favorite?
I picked Argentina to go all the way, but I must admit that's a bit tongue-in-cheek as well, because I thought Brazil was just too boring. It was too obvious picking the home side, particularly when you're Brazil. Colombia today were kind of an interesting side. There was a couple of things they did early on that made you go, wow, this team's got it together. Like Peckerman's got them doing all the things you'd want them to do, that you'd see traditionally from a South American side, but you're also seeing them pressurising the opposition as well, high up the park. And then suddenly, they get 2 goals up and they're starting flicking and they're nutmegging and they nearly let that game get away from them at one stage. So they've got, I think, room to improve. Chile, I wouldn't say they were quite as showy as Colombia yesterday, but they allowed Australia back into the game as well. So you look at these two teams, I think, Argentina's coming on, Ecuador will be interesting tomorrow. Uruguay looked like they just didn't have legs today. They looked like a mini Spain to me. But you look at some of the other ones. I think everybody's waiting to see. As I go back to that aspect of Germany, I think everybody's looking forward to seeing them play. And remember, there's Portugal as well. They have got one of the best players in the world, and somebody who is, quite frankly, on their game, quite capable of going out and winning the tournament almost single-handedly.
Bobby, obviously you mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo there. There's Lionel Messi. There's Neymar. There's a lot of names that people know of already. But is there one player sort of that you can think of that people don't know of, that this is their opportunity to really make a name for themselves?
Well, going into the tournament, I don't know if this would qualify under it. Certainly with Chile, you would look at Arturo Vidal, as he's had a couple of great seasons with Juventus. He had a good start his career in Germany, and wouldn't be termed one of the best players in the world, but certainly he's got the potential of being one of the great all-round players in the world. It's as other people have noted, it's just about there hardly seems to be a position he can't play. One player I thought today really, and it's the first real good look I've had at him, was James Rodriguez of Colombia. I thought he looked like the real deal. And it's always the same. Midfield players with elegant left foots always look so much better, but Rodriguez I thought looked really good. So that's another player you'd watch. Really disappointed that Marco Reus didn't make it for Germany. I think that could have been a real breakthrough tournament for him as well, because he's an exciting player, breaking from the midfield, running at defences. He's got pace, he's got power, and he's a good finisher as well. So I'm kind of disappointed we're not going to get the benefit of seeing him. And I don't know, does Mario Balotelli qualify as an unknown?
No, I think he's very well known, but maybe not for the soccer field antics.
He just there's a couple of touches today. He's such a nutter and such a head case, but God, is he a talent. You can't take your eyes off him. He's got a marvellous touch. The ball just absolutely, when it's laid into him, his first touch is magnificent. And really, some of the stuff he tries, that little chip that he nearly scored with, and he let one rip from about 35 yards. It was just a tremendous shot. So one thing with Balotelli, it's never quiet.
True enough. Bobby, thanks so much for joining us. We could talk for hours about the World Cup and just talking with you, but thanks for staying up late and joining us here on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk.
My pleasure, guys. Enjoy the tournament.
Thanks again, Bobby. That was Bobby McMahon, Sportsnet analyst, Forbes magazine contributor there, Soccerly writer as well, talking World Cup. And our World Cup coverage is presented by the Donnelly Group, showing all 64 World Cup matches live. Visit donnellygroup.ca to find out all the Vancouver venues, and there's a lot to choose from. We were at the Blackbird Bar earlier tonight for the England match. That was fantastic, but they are also Russia House. They're Casa de Brazil, so a lot of fun places at the Donnelly Group. That's donnellygroup.ca, and their coverage covering all of our World Cup action here on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. We're hoping to talk injuries with David Sandals of expertphysio.ca. David is in Brazil, so we're going to hopefully find him somewhere, perhaps in the middle of the night on a beach somewhere. Rumors persist that he's going to take over for Gary Lewin, the England physio, who, what was it, Simon? He dislocated his ankle or something like that. Is that what it was?
Dislocated his ankle from the sounds of it in celebrating their goal and had to be stretchered off.
Yeah, so David Sandals, who, of course, with expertphysio.ca, could he be taken over? Could he be the last-minute substitution for England in the physio department? Well, we'll talk to David about that, but we're hoping to catch up with him a little bit later on. But he was at the Holland-Spain match a couple days ago, so just good times, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with David Sandals. But up next, we're going to discuss some of the latest news. There's already some guys making names for themselves, and of course, if you make a name for yourself at the World Cup, it means big transfer news, and we'll talk a lot about that when we go around the globe with Unigo One Travel next.
Follow us on Twitter at SoccerTalk650 and at Tyler Green FC. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on AM 650.
The 2014 season of EA Sports BC Soccer Premier League. Welcome to the front lines of the game. Welcome to the big league. The one that provides an elevated level of competition for high-performance players within BC and contributes to player development for the Canadian national team and professional opportunities here and abroad. This is where you're going to see the top youth players in action. Catch some of the most intense soccer in the province. EA Sports BC Soccer Premier League. For information and upcoming games, check out bcsoccer.net.
Held high above the heads of soccer supporters everywhere. The soccer scarf is a world-class tradition, and Global Scarves can get you into the game. From English soccer clubs to Canadian hockey teams, Global Scarves has been producing high-quality UK-knitted soccer scarves for over 40 years. Because you're dealing directly, you get the lowest price, and your order shipped in as little as 15 days. Global Scarves are a high-margin, high-spirited fundraising idea. Contact Brad at globalscarves.com or visit globalscarves.com.
What's it like to score in the beautiful game? Come to Kia Vancouver and find out. Score the best price during Kia's 2014 FIFA World Cup sales event. Plus, get 0% financing for 84 months and up to $4,000 in cash bonuses on select models. And only at Kia Vancouver, score free lifetime car washes, free lifetime oil changes, free lifetime airport shuttle and parking, and always service with a smile. Kia Vancouver, the power to surprise. At KiaVancouver.com and on Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon.
Whether playing soccer on this continent or football on every other, Umbro is the name worn by top players and teams worldwide. Those same uniforms are available for your team or club at Umbro.com. Umbro, proud to be the official supplier of Canada's men's and women's national teams, is celebrating 90 years of expertise in the game. If you want your club to play like the pros, dress them like the pros at Umbro.com. Umbro, the heart and soul of football.
Now that summer is finally here, On the Run stores at Esso stations want you to enjoy every moment.
Right one!
On the Run stores at Esso stations have stepped up to the plate this summer and are delivering refreshing deals to keep you on the go. Like 2 591 milliliter Cokes for just $2.50, taxes and deposit extra.
Foul ball!
Summer is the season to get outside and get moving. Fuel your summer fun at On the Run!
We're back. This is Kia Vancouver's Soccer Talk on AM 650. Now here's your host, Tyler Green.
Whitecaps resume action on June 25th at BC Place against Montreal. We want to send you to that match. Caller number 14 for the 2014 World Cup. So caller 14 picks up a pair of tickets to the match courtesy of us here at Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. The number 604-280-0650. That's 280-0650. Caller 14. World Cup action underway, and we've got another preview of the countries that are there. Tonight we're going to take a look at one right now that is it's the hipster team of the tournament, and, quite frankly, a dark horse as well.
This is the full 90 on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk, with all the info you need for the countries playing in Brazil.
This Belgium profile is presented by findaproperty.ca. Appearing in their first FIFA World Cup since Korea and Japan in 2002, Belgium traveled to Brazil with a squad built of a golden generation of talented young players. This will be the 12th time that the Red Devils have appeared at the World Cup, with their best finish coming in 1986 in Mexico when they finished 4th. Led by former Belgian international Mark Wilmots, Belgium showed their emerging qualities in qualifying for this year's tournament. They topped European Zone Group A ahead of fellow World Cup qualifiers Croatia. In fact, Belgium did not lose a single match in the qualifying process. Wilmot's multicultural squad includes many of European club soccer's top stars. In Chelsea goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois, Belgium have a young shot stopper that helped his lone club Atletico Madrid to this year's Spanish Primera Liga title and a runner-up medal at the UEFA Champions League. Manchester City centre-back Vincent Kompany will captain the side, while the English Premier League is well represented in Belgium's midfield, with Manchester United's Marouane Fellaini and Tottenham Hotspur's Moussa Dembele. Belgium's attack includes Chelsea duo of Eden Hazard and Romelu Lukaku, Everton's Kevin Morales, and newly capped Adnan Januzaj of Manchester United. Belgium are seated in Group H with Algeria, Russia, and South Korea. That was the Belgium profile presented by findaproperty.ca. Looking for a home? Kevin O'Toole and findaproperty.ca have the perfect home for you. Whether it's on the North Shore, the Fraser Valley, Kits, or downtown, findaproperty.ca have your needs covered. Kevin O'Toole, licensed realtor with Prudential Sussex Realty, online at findaproperty.ca.
Let's check the latest headlines from around the globe, taking a look at the news, notes, and rumors from around the globe. Neil and the team at Uniglobe One Travel have you covered. Call 604-677-1495. Let's start with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, apparently set for a surprise return to action against Uruguay after stepping up his recovery from a knee injury. And, of course, with Guus Hiddink as the new Manchester United manager, well, 23-year-old Ajax left back Daley Blind, who also played for the Dutch in a big win over Spain, had a great game. Well, they're interested in signing him, as well as Arjen Robben, who is also a Dutch player, and, of course, German midfielder Bastian Schweinsteiger. Arsenal looking at Pepe Reina, a player Arsene Wenger wanted to sign about 4 years ago, and then there was some U.S. Open Cup surprises. Simon, you got those.
3 scalps taken by NASL clubs today in the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup. Chivas USA losing on penalties to the Carolina Railhawks. Atlanta Silverbacks beat RSL by 2-1, and the New York Doggery was won by the New York Cosmos. They beat the Red Bulls by 3-0.
That was a look around the globe with Uniglobe One Travel. Need travel help, whether it's a trip to Europe, perhaps just a trip down to Seattle for a Cascadia match? Neil has you covered with whatever you require. 604-677-1495. That's 604-677-1495. It's halftime here on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. Regular contributor David Sandals of Experts Physio joins us to talk injuries live from Brazil. Only at Kia Vancouver, get an extra $500 discount if you tell them Tyler from Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk sent you. Just mention my name. Save 500 big ones. That's KiaVancouver.com. 396 Southwest Marine Drive. Before we get to David, though, let's listen to the BC Soccer Profile presented by bcsoccer.net.
Time now for the BC Soccer Profile, showcasing special achievements and success stories from throughout the province. Brittany Baxter was born in Vancouver and raised in Coquitlam. The Canadian international grew up playing for Eagle Ridge Soccer, now known as the North Coquitlam United Soccer Club, before moving on to Coquitlam Metro Fort. During her youth career, the 28-year-old was a BC Soccer Player of the Year award recipient, making her Canadian international debut at 16 years of age. In 2004, she won the Golden Shoe as top scorer in the 2004 FIFA U19 Women's World Championship with 7 goals in 4 games. An Olympic bronze medalist in the 2012 Games in London, England, Baxter has over 100 caps to her credit and has represented Canada at every level of competition. Currently playing with the Seattle Sounders of the W League, Baxter is part of the Canadian women's national team roster that will face Germany on June the 18th at BC Place Stadium. Brittany Baxter is a proud Canadian and a BC Soccer product. To read more stories of influential women in soccer and to find out how to get involved in the beautiful game, visit bcsoccer.net.
This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on AM 650. Follow us on Twitter at Soccer Talk 650 and at Tyler Green FC.
The Straight Razor Shave, a leading man classic. Centuries old, steady hand coaxing the rugged face back to smoothness. This nearly lost art has found revival at anotherfinecut.com. Hot towels, straight edge blade into your face. It's an experience that reminds you you're alive, you're a man in the company of history's finest men. Start at anotherfinecut.com. Pick your barbershop in Yaletown, Gastown, or the Financial District and relax into the big red leather chair for the shave of your life.
Vancouver Street Soccer League is the beautiful game at its finest. Teams of men and women who are homeless, have recently been homeless, or are at risk for homelessness get together to train and play matches. It's great fun that builds skill and confidence, and the league sent players to 4 consecutive Homeless World Cups in Milan, Rio de Janeiro, Paris, Mexico City, and Poland. Find out more at VancouverStreetSoccer.com.
This message fueled by Duso's Fresh Pasta and Sauce, proud to support community on and off the pitch.
What's it like to score in the beautiful game? Come to Kia Vancouver and find out. Score the best price during Kia's 2014 FIFA World Cup sales event. Plus, get 0% financing for 84 months and up to $4,000 in cash bonuses on select models. And only at Kia Vancouver, score free lifetime car washes, free lifetime oil changes, free lifetime airport shuttle and parking, and always service with a smile. Kia Vancouver, the power to surprise at KiaVancouver.com and on Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon.
How Bell makes getting a super phone better.
I'll have the turkey sandwich.
Just water for me, thanks.
That's all you're having?
Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to save up to buy one of the really top-of-the-line super phones.
You know, there's a super phone super sale.
Ooh, then I will have the filet mignon with extra mignon.
For a limited time, Bell is having a super phone super sale. Find great prices on a wide selection of the hottest phones available. Visit a Bell store for details. Bell, getting a super phone just got better.
All-time favorites. AM 650 is CISL Vancouver.